With more and more Wii U exclusives slowly being ported over to the Nintendo Switch, along with the Wii U servers slowly dying, it seems more people are suddenly saying that the Wii U is actually good. Well, no one really said this when the Wii U was a current-gen console, but I actually agree with them and think that the Wii U was misunderstood. So the Wii U came out in November of 2012, but its launch was a pretty big failure. Not only did it have a weird name, but because it had the word Wii in it, most people thought it was just an add-on to the Wii and not its own console. The console also looks like a Wii, which makes it even harder to realize this is a different console, but maybe if it was at least called the Wii 2, then people would have still bought it. Honestly, with how successful the Wii was, I'm surprised the Wii U sold horribly, even if people only thought it was a Wii add-on. The Wii sold over 100 million units, so for the Wii U to only sell roughly 13 million in its lifetime is a big disappointment to say the least. But with the age of the internet, there's no way the only reason the Wii U sold poorly is just that the name was bad. With the amount of video game YouTubers and just general video game YouTube videos, the Wii U was bound to get publicity as its own console without the confusion. And well, it did. It's just that people hated it. When the Wii U first launched, there was almost no good games for it. There were only 23 games on day one for the Wii U's launch, with most of these not even being exclusives. Sure, there was Zombie U, which later got ported over to the other consoles of that generation, but honestly, Zombie U is one of the few games I think was better on the Wii U. The Wii U gamepad is obviously a little bit gimmicky and a big reason people were turned away from the console, but in games like Zombie U, I think the gamepad is actually used really well and in a way that makes the game more fun. There was also Nintendo Land, of course, which was the Wii Sports like tech demo of the Wii U, but come on man, you can't beat the original Wii Sports. Black Ops 2 was also one of the launch titles for the Wii U somehow, and while the online servers certainly were much worse than any other console, I think that if this wasn't the case, then Black Ops 2 on the Wii U would be one of the most fun versions. Personally, I like using the gamepad as it's comfortable for my hands, but having a giant radar of the whole map on the gamepad while you play is just really convenient, and while it's unnecessary, I think that's really cool. New Super Mario Bros. U was another launch title for the Wii U, and I really enjoy this game a lot, but it's just New Super Mario Bros. Wii in HD, which is nice at the very least. There were a few more launch titles for the Wii U, like the Batman game, Assassin's Creed, and Just Dance, I guess, but needless to say, the launch was really weak, both in terms of games and the actual console. The launch of a console definitely isn't the most important thing when it comes to a video game console, but it is something you want to get right, and something that the Wii U certainly did not. And I shouldn't have to tell you guys the Wii U had horrible third-party support, but something that the Wii U has going for it, in my opinion, are the many exclusive games for it that came out over the years. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch has picked up a lot of the Wii U's exclusives for itself, but since the Switch came out almost 5 years after the Wii U, I'm still gonna count those as Wii U exclusives for the sake of this video. Some of the games, as I'm sure you all know, are Mario Kart 8, Pokken Tournament, Super Mario 3D World, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Captain Toad, etc. All of these games are of varying quality, of course, but if you've ever had the chance to play any of these on the Switch, I'm sure you've enjoyed them at least a little bit. I mean, come on, Mario Kart 8 is one of the best entries in a series that is literally world-renowned, which should speak for something. And the Donkey Kong Country remakes are all amazing and some of the best platformers ever made. I am actually thinking about doing a video on them at some point, so if you'd be interested in that, please let me know in the comments. Super Mario 3D World is also an amazing entry in the Mario series, and while every Nintendo console has at least one banger of a Mario game, I still think the Wii U deserves a certain amount of credit for the game. But even if you want to ignore the games that were ported to the Switch, there were still plenty of games that can only be played on the Wii U. And while I don't know if I'd recommend buying a Wii U today unless you found it on sale or something, if you happen to get one for free somehow, you can certainly get a lot of fun out of it. One of the biggest games on the Wii U is the original Splatoon game. Of course, the sequel is on the Switch, but that's a sequel, so shut up. I remember playing Splatoon back in 2014 when I got my Wii U, and it was surprisingly fun. I've heard some people claim this game is boring, and maybe I just enjoy it because I low-key have OCD and want to fill the whole map in, but with the amount of different modes for both online and single player, I really do think that anyone could find something fun to do in this game. And the gyro controls feel dummy good. One of the games I enjoyed the most on the Wii U though is surprisingly considered to be one of the worst. I obviously disagree with that, but I'm talking about Mario Party 10. This isn't my favorite Mario Party game by any means, but I feel like people didn't give it a chance. Obviously having all 4 players sit in the dang car thing isn't as fun as being on the outside of it, but like Mario Party 9 did that too, and much worse. Mario Party 10 also didn't have a ton of boards to play on, but with amiibos there was some fun extra content you were able to access. The game came with an amiibo, by the way. I bring this up because I've heard a lot of people complain that one of the game modes is locked off if you don't have an amiibo, but one literally came with the game. There was an option to get the game for $10 cheaper without an amiibo, but this was clearly clearly for the people who already had an amiibo to use, since the game with the amiibo was $60 like every other new game that came out at the time. And while I understand the confusion, that's invalid criticism. But the main reason I like this game was the Bowser mode, which took advantage of the Wii U's gamepad. If you didn't know, Bowser mode is a 5-player Mario Party game mode where 4 players are in a car trying to get to the end, while a 5th player uses the gamepad and controls Bowser as he tries to stop them. This mode is a blast to play and one of my favorite Mario Party game modes ever, and while I understand if you don't enjoy it as much as I did, it's still Mario Party at the end of the day. Needless to say, any Nintendo console that has Mario games, Mario Kart, and Mario Party is going to end up being fun with the laws of physics regarding Mario and such, but of course, Nintendo's lack of online support really held back the Wii U in this generation. But something Nintendo actually got right with the Wii U was backwards compatibility. So backwards compatibility is something that should be so simple, but yet companies manage to come up with a new way to do it every year. What it should be is the ability to play games from at the very least the last console generation, but usually it turns into a big mess. Somehow though, Nintendo managed to get this right by not only having the Wii U fully support Wii discs, but also having one of the best eShop channels Nintendo has ever had. The Wii backwards compatibility stuff not only let you use every single Wii game you could ever want to, but it also just straight up loaded a Wii menu for some reason. Which, like, I don't understand, but I like it. Needless to say, the ability to play Wii games paired with the fact that the Wii modes are still the main controller for the console make a really good combination that somehow didn't sell people on the console. This is confusing because of course the Wii U lacked online compared to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but if you think about it, so did the Wii compared to the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Of course, when I say that, you start thinking of all these other reasons the Wii was popular despite that, but the Wii U still has all the same reasons and more, it just somehow didn't work. I think if more people understood, you could literally just sit on the gamepad with the TV turned off and use the Wii as a portable Wii if you wanted to, then more people would buy it, but for some reason Nintendo sucks at advertising all these good features. But on top of it being a portable Wii, it was also a portable NES, SNES, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advanced, DS, and even a TurboGrafx 16 if you really wanted. The amount of different games you could get from the Wii U eShop is actually insane and makes me wonder why the Switch is so lacking. Of course, on the Wii U, you had to purchase every individual game, unlike on the Switch where you get everything for free with online, but the selection on the Wii U makes the Switch look horrible. The Wii U also had a couple of NEX remix games for it with challenges from classic NEX games, and it was pretty fun, but not a console seller of course. But the fact that the Wii U lets you not only play N64 games, but Game Boy Advanced and even DS is just ridiculous. And if you're wondering how the DS stuff works, it uses the gamepad as another screen, but it also has a bunch of customization options if that doesn't look good to you. With the Wii U having all of these amazing features and slowly releasing a bunch of really good exclusive games, why didn't it sell? As you can tell by the title of this video, I think it's because the Wii U was misunderstood. When the Wii U was still the newest Nintendo console, people always compared it to either the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 because those were the other consoles in the generation. While that makes sense of course, people didn't really do that with the Wii, and as a matter of fact, most people that had Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s probably also had a Wii at some point. But regardless, I think that the main reason is it's just misunderstood. The Wii U isn't meant to compete with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, it was meant to just be fun like the Wii. Of course, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are meant to be fun also, but they're focusing on getting top of the line specs to run high quality games and get all the third party online support because that guarantees people will have fun. Well, Nintendo with the Wii and Wii U did what they did best and just made a bunch of undeniably fun games that you could only get for the Wii U. This is what Nintendo has always done though, and sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. The Wii U still sold 13 million units, which of course isn't nearly as much as the Wii or even the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but it's still a decent amount. The people I know who have Wii U's actually really enjoyed them because once you get one and start playing the games, you start to understand what Nintendo was getting at with this Wii U thing. The people who never got a chance to play it and try it though are of course going to hate it because they enjoy playing Black Ops 3 and GTA 5 on the PlayStation 4, which the Wii U will never be able to do. But these consoles are not competing. You can get both of them without wasting any money because they have entirely different game libraries. Not to mention, if you're gonna go for third-party games and want good specs, having a PC with a current-gen Nintendo console on the side is definitely the way to go. Of course, the Wii U story didn't end badly. Though people hated it and considered it to be a bad console despite its amazing games, the Wii U did one thing that would change the minds of everyone, which was inspiring the creation of the Nintendo Switch. Of course, the Nintendo Switch is just a better Wii U, which is the main reason the Wii U seems so obsolete nowadays. But the Switch is more similar to a Wii U than you'd think. Sure, Nintendo has improved its online a little bit along with its specs, but it's still lacking big online titles like Call of Duty and GTA 5. But the Switch is doing well despite that, selling over 68 million consoles so far. It's actually funny to think about how similar the Switch and Wii U are with how differently they were perceived by everyone. Either way, it looks like Nintendo is just going to keep doing what they do best, which is making a console and then making a bunch of games for it that are so good you have no choice but to buy it. The Wii U had a rough life, but I really did enjoy the console and I still think it's fun to this day. Cause I mean, come on, you can play Mario on the toilet.
Somebody pray for the guy, oh Lord, I wanna one Michael's on. Sun dimming, doing shit, rapping, trapping, tripping, sitting, going, showing Michael's on. Shit, die, yellow, was a lion, you a lion,